Very superstitious. Writings on the wall.
Hi, Vlad. Glad you could take care of things while Margaret and I are in federal prison. We had no idea it was illegal to sell toxic waste to the Soviet Union. Thanks for watering the plants. It seems appropriate to have a known Soviet from next door watering our red-blooded American weeds. Be sure the camera's off, which reminds me, please put the tape cassette in the fridge for Coan. It's probably hungry by now. So keep up the work on your expose. Hope it's out on the streets by the time we are. Warmest red guards, get it, Jonathan.
Don't just stand there with your primate stupidity hanging out. What do you want, Four Eyes?
What are you?
Why, I'm the primordial slime, the sludge of life, the nightmare of your ancestral memory, if you will. What are you?
Я думаю, что я сумасшедший человек.
Я знаю.
You know Russian?
I know a lot more than that, mammal mess. Your species came from me, you know.
My ancestors do not ooze inside ice boxes. I had an uncle in Minsk once who lived in a phone booth, but why are you in this refrigerator?
So I can eat what's in your hand, monkey breath.
This cassette it's for you? Богу.
Thanks, mucus mouth. Hey, have a hit off this new dioxin soda with PutraSweet. It's an old family recipe.
It tastes like the new formula Coke to me.
Hey, Coke is it. It used to be the real thing. But to stay in control, they had to change something quick. So they got together with my folks, people with culture, you know what I mean? We are the real thing. You got all that down, Devo Biped? Don't you have pop-top dioxin in Russia?
Well, you know, toxic waste is very popular in Soviet Union as well. We send it to Afghanistan using airmail to maintain social stability.
We are versatile, aren't we? Here in America, there's another use that's similar. We use it in scripts for network TV.
Television. My God, I forgot. The camera is on. I'll just free the media.
Hi, Mom.
It's okay.
Hello, I'm Virginia Bacon, your trusted representative for many authorized products. Over the years, you and I have turned to each other many times for quality home use items and checks that don't bounce. It is in this tradition, then, that I am proud to be sharing my new service with you. As you know, America today stands at the crossroads of opportunity. L. Bob Beanie tells us in so many words that America can do anything from guaranteeing human rights to incinerating the planet. It is in this spirit, then, that I think we should all make our commitments heard and give the U of S a hand. Take byproducts. We all produce them, but who takes care of them? Who among us will lend a hand? Marshall McLuhan called TV a vast wasteland, and we all have TVs in our homes, so why not toxic waste? Look how much fame and money Love Canal received, and they're in some backwater suburban Hicksville. The scenic spots should not get all the sludge. I forgot. Victor Uzi has that vacant lot across the street from his house just going to pot. I forgot he stopped renting that to the DEA. Inspector, surely you can see the advantages. You can appreciate the investment this new quality service would provide? Inspector, do you have any questions?
Did you ever look at a negative? I mean, really look at one? Each negative tells a story. Did you know that? Now, as for this asinine isotope junk pile, aren't you forgetting Victor? Last week, the idiot released a comic book on how to snuff me out and didn't even spell my name right. This is the man you want running this? What a revolting development. I'm sorry, Jenny, I'm not going to let you get away with it. I know just the man, a certain someone.
Someone? Whoever could you mean, Inspector?
Whom could I mean? You know, Virginia, when John asked me to return here, I knew I was the man who could get the job done. And I went to a sage, if you must know. He told me I needed more continuity and higher concepts if I were to change everything. At first, I thought I was the one man who could change everything, but I was being redundant. I can't do it alone, and I can't turn back now. I'm afraid Major Strasser would insist. And that is why Thaddeus Gillespie is coming here.
Spectre, what are you planning? What's up your sleeve? What are you doing?
You aren't a pilgrim for the service of the Scuzz, are you?
What?
Oh, never mind. So who is this Thaddeus Kildare?
It's Gillespie, Ducky, and what's this Scuzz crap? Virginia, meet Thaddeus.
Charmed, simply charmed. I feel like I've known you for months. At least.
Yes, you do seem familiar. Have you ever been in radio?
Oh, yeah, sure. Whenever I go through a tunnel, I disappear.
Thad's a real Renaissance kind of guy. He does bar mitzvahs, Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder.
How interesting. And just who pays for your services?
Suckers, mainly.
Well, yes. So what brings you to town?
It's funny Virginia should ask why I'm in town. Could it be for my cola nuts? But seriously, folks, I was referred here by the agency to clean things up a bit, improve morale, generate plot motivation, and institute the changes I made in Weatherspoon after that spot of trouble we had there. It seems as in Weatherspoon, we've been having some problems with number 2 here in the village. Just can't get good help these days.
It's always exciting when progress comes to town, don't you think?
It depends on what side of the meltdown you're on.
Yes, it certainly does, doesn't it? I hope the two of you are as excited about this as I am. And I encourage all of you at home, non-coms and civilians alike, to invest now in this enterprise of patriotism. Yes, now comes to fruition the seeds that we created with our own God-blessed American dollars. This portfolio is not only financially sound, but morally straight, mentally awake. And nowhere is this dedication more apparent than in my choice for manager of the site. A top-notch man, absolutely top-notch. A man who really knows how to grab the buck by the kahunas. Morally sound, fiscally responsible, a veritable pillar of the community. Frankly, with my man Jesse at the helm, I foresee absolutely no trouble from that tick Spectre. Where is he, by the way? I feel the need to reach out and someone.
Well, he said something about
Something
having
nautical,
to
yeah.
see a man with a fish stuck in his ear
Right.
something like that.
Typical.
I haven't seen you about a lot lately, Victor. Have you been ill?
Not at all, Virginia. As a matter of fact, I've just been rather involved with the site documentation. You know, going over things like tax write-offs, depreciation.
Tax write-offs for poisoning your neighborhood?
You betcha kahunas. Naturally, I don't need to be bribed to do my patriotic duty as a loyal citizen. So I thought it was only right that I should reinvest my share in this enterprise in the new NRC-sponsored singles condo, Dawn's Early Light, located on a few recently vacated properties just a stone's throw from TMI reactor number 2.
Victor, here, have some coffee.
Thank you, Virginia.
This is such a delicate subject. perhaps I could ask you, since we are guests here in the Mondo home, and I think it would be nice if you would refrain from trying to antagonize Spectre while he's here. It's getting awfully tedious being caught in the crossfire. It'd be nice to have at least one spot where you would not duck for cover every time a car backfired. And it was on this very spot that Maggie and I signed our discount non-aggression pact. It's also fitting, don't you think, here in the temple?
Well, I suppose I could have this area reclassified as a DNZ, deneighborized zone. But I won't be responsible if that scum provokes me unreasonably.
Now, Spectre's a guest after all.
And I don't think that the Mondos would tolerate any violence in their kitchen. As a matter of fact, neither will I.
Oh, and I'd like to see what either one of any of you would do about it.
Oh, you would you?
This is unlike Virginia. Could it be too much coffee?
Coffee? No. Everything's fine. Everything is okay. It's copacetic. Everything is under control. In fact, I'm above par. Why do you ask?
You just seem a little tense.
Tense? Tense? I'll show you tense.
Okay. You're calm.
I really am terribly sorry about this. I don't know what came over me. One minute I was fine, and the next minute I was raving. I've never done anything like this in my life.
Well, think nothing of it, Virginia. I certainly don't.
Well, that's very civil of you, Victor.
After all, the owner's manual does mention certain neurological and personality dysfunctions resultant from proximity to the materials on the site. And, of course, the teeniest possibility of an inferno.
Let me get this straight. In order to preserve the neighborhood, you're willing to destroy it?
Hey, if it'll work for Philadelphia, it'll work here. But not to worry. We've done some analyses on this, and just listen. No one of importance will suffer. And the only groups found to be statistically at risk are liberals and their subspecies, the ex-liberal pseudo-conservatives known as yuppies. The rest of the population could expect no more radiation than from a simple few minutes. In fact, people could wear their microwave ovens around their necks and get more radiation than if they didn't. Now, isn't that an ironclad guarantee? There is absolutely no reason to worry the public on this in the least. After all, it was only adverse publicity early on that is spoiling things for cigarettes and liquor. Therefore, as it says here, page 12, paragraph 6, leave the public in the dark.
That'll be awful difficult if everything's glowing.
Perhaps we should seek consultation from the oracle of the icebox.
The phlegm of God. Om. Grant me an audience, Almighty Koan. Please.
Well, open the door, Mongoloid. Why didn't anyone tell me there was a decent restaurant opening up down the block? What are you gonna call it? Tox in a box? Who are all these devoids? Hey, you sound familiar. Haven't I heard you on the radio?
Excellent. This must be... Isn't this the new K2R surveillance system?
Hey, isn't this the new cleaning woman?
Cleaning woman? Cleaning woman? Ah!
You have a radio in there.
Sure, I've got a butterbox blaster. I listen to radio-free radicals. You don't expect me to bore myself stiff in here all day, do you? Hey, be a good little carbon unit and go over to that joint of his and get me a couple of uranium dogs to go, extra hot, with phosphates.
Yes, your phlegmness.
You're calm, you're calm, you're calm, you're calm, you're calm.
Fire!
Water.
I tell you, I don't like it. These trucks pulling in with sludge in a drum.
Inspector, stop pacing this second. Here, sit down. Have some coffee. It is no use for you not to be relaxed. It's a beautiful day and a glorious morning. It's pointless for you to get all upset until you've caught the latest news.
Thanks, kid. Today in the Mondo headlines, man leaps off cliff, squashes passerby as he lands. Space aliens found in our drinking water, and Cyndi Lauper's life after death beauty tips. Doctors in Salerno, Italy are investigating the case of a baby reported singing in its mother's womb. The mother reported that when she was 6 months pregnant, she heard La Donna Mobile from the Marriage of Figaro coming from the fetus within her. Since she and her husband are not avid opera buffs, she was surprised to find that the child has a remarkable repertoire, ranging from Carmen to La Traviata. Asked what plans she and her husband have for the child, she said that plans were in the works to cut an album for Ethiopian relief. She would confirm no dates, however. In other news, local creep Victor Uzi unpacks his latest poison, his toxic waste dump.
Out of my way, pilgrims. It's this commie sleazo scum I'm after.
You've got some gall putting in a toxic waste dump on the block. I swear, Uzi, no matter what it takes, I'll see that dump never goes up.
All right, you slime. It's time for you to taste the heat of the steel, of the wrath of my bullets, of the spice of my wrath.
What do you say?
I think he wants to fight.
Oh, okay, let's rumble.
Rumble? Did I hear someone talking about current state of economics?
Well, hello, Mr. Kamikoski. Perhaps now that you're here, the two of us could prevail upon these two and get them to quit their bitching in the kitchen.
Well, you know, I see that I think what we have here is a conflict between two cultures. You know, what would you get if your Cyndi Lauper were to go on a blind date with your Jesse Helms? Chaos, anarchy.
So, Uzi! How did you find me here, huh? How did you get here so fast, huh?
Why, I came through the door.
Oh! How did you find me?
You expect me to reveal my sources to you?
Boys, I have just about had it with you.
I have just begun to fight.
I saw her standing there in a raincoat. She looked right at me, serving down the street, sit down. What would we ever be doing inside? Only knew it's dark now. Lights turned out in the store.
If I had one wish? Oh, well, I'd like to live at McDonald's. Right there in the restaurant. I see those big golden arches, sort of like a part of the rainbow, and it gives my spirit a lift. You know what I really like, though? The plastic. See, God, He gave us plastic so there wouldn't be no stains on His world. See, in the human world, Earth, everything gets stained and scratched and torn up and faded down and loses its shine. All of it does in time. Well, God, He gave us plastic so that we would know what the everlasting really was. See, if there's plastic, then there is surely eternity. It's God's hint. Did you ever watch folks when they come up on a McDonald's? They always speed up. They almost run the last few steps. You see if they don't. I've seen it. I have. And I have even seen a man healed by a Big Mac. I have. Oh, well, maybe. I saw this fella. When was it? Last summer. Now, I was just sitting there. See, they don't never move you on. It is a sacred law in McDonald's. You can sit for 100 years if you want to, only place in this world. Well, anyway, this fella, he come in there, maybe 35, maybe 40, and he was dressed real nice, you know, had a bright, nice tie, had a brand new hat, nice white socks. Well, he come in there, and he had that disease, you know the one I mean, cerebral walrus, I think they call it, and he had him cock-legged, and his old body had him 2 speeds at the same time. Well, he come in there, and he goes up to the counter, and he gets him a cup of coffee with the lid on it, and he got him a Big Mac. Well, he goes over, and he sits down, and he opens up his Big Mac, and he takes it out, and he eats maybe half of it. And then, you know, he was just sitting there suffering from them tremors. And all of a sudden, his head lowered back, and he pitched right out. It sounded like a bowling ball dropping. Made you half sick to hear it. Well, we go running over, and we say, "Are you all right?" But he was out cold. He was. And them servant kids, they come running over, you know, real cute like they are, and they watered him, and they stuck a touch of pepper up his nostril and slapped him around right smart. And pretty soon, bang, up he got, a standing and a blinking. And we said, "How are you?" And he said, "I'm fine." And he was fine. I couldn't believe it. He got up, walked straight towards the door just like a beanpole poplar, got outside, jumped up, whooped, hollered, waved down the Circle Line bus and headed off out Muhammad Ali Boulevard, a-singing and a-smiling just like the king of the pharaohs, healed by a Big Mac, and I saw it. You know, you cannot die in a McDonald's no matter how hard you try. That's right. You cannot die in a McDonald's. People die in Burger Kings all the time. Kentucky Fried Chicken got their own damn ambulances. But you can't die in a McDonald's no matter what. You know why? It's the spices. Seals you in, safe in life, just like it seals you in the flavor. You know, I asked Gerald, could I live there? And he said he would write a letter up to the chain command to see if I could. So I got my bid in. You know, sometimes I see it, well, kind of like the last of a movie. You know how they start up real close and then they back it off steady and far. Well, that's how I picture it. And I'm in McDonald's, and it's all light, and I just get smaller and smaller, and it's all McDonald's, but it's like a part of the sky, and it's like something even bigger, like plastic. That's how I picture it. Well, I know it's just a dream. I know. But we gotta have our dreams. Our dreams is what make us what we are.
Welcome to the D.C. Armory Starplex. Please move back from the door. This show is sold out. Please do not press, push, or shove. Have your tickets in hand. The show is being delayed for your convenience.
Excuse me. Hello, Mondo's place. You're on the air. Yes? Oh, yes? When did this happen? Oh, this changes everything. This is the point we've all been waiting for. Thank you. Goodbye. Well, this does change everything. We are going to see a few changes made. We are going to meet a new number 2.
You know, it's times like these when I could really go for something cold and fizzly.
Something to drink, flesh lobes? If you like Toxic Coke, you'll love the taste of dioxin soda with Putra-Sweet. It's the choice of a new spontaneous generation.
Cohen, I have been wondering, just what kind of music is it that you listen to?
Oh, top 40, strontium 90, stuff like Sprout by Spites for Frights, or Like a Waste Site by Majana, or Just a Jiggling Goo by Rabid Flea Froth, and of course, We Are the Mold.
Oh, that's one of my favorites. Folks, it's time for us to end transmission for a few months. But we would like you, wherever you are, to write the broadcaster in your area and find out where we are and what we're up to. And then write us and tell us what it is that we're doing. In the meantime, Cohen would like to leave you with these little words of messages. And now the Mondo Breakfast Hour presents our little message.
Oh, there comes a time when evolution falls, when pond scum must breed together as one.
There are species dying from acid in the air, but do the protozoans care?
We are the mold. We are the fungus. We are the cruds who make a brighter day decay among us.
So your hair is thinning, your teeth and gums explode. If you can radiate half-lives, then so can we.
We are the mold. We are